Hello people of the YouTube Nation, my name is Jillian, Words a Billion, and today I'm going to be discussing BookTubeAthon 2014. So for those of you who don't know what BookTubeAthon is, I'm going to leave a link to the BookTubeAthon YouTube channel down below, and you can find out all the information about it there. That Ariel Bissett has posted videos explaining each and all the aspects of it, as well as the BookTubeAthon Twitter I will post in there, so you can keep up to date on the Twitter sprints, which should be exciting. BookTubeAthon is basically a readathon, starting next Monday and going through until the following Monday, so a week-long readathon all about reading and BookTube, and it's really exciting, and I'm excited to see where it goes. So one of the exciting things about BookTubeAthon is the challenges that there is. For not only is there reading challenges this year, but there is also video challenges this year, so it's going to be really exciting. Without further ado, I'm going to discuss my BookTubeAthon to be read that has to coincide with the reading challenges. So the first challenge is to read a book with pictures. And for that challenge, I have decided to read my Best of Archie comics starring Betty and Veronica. This is the 4th volume of the Best of Archie comics. I have read the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd volumes, and Archie comics are honestly like my guilty pleasure. And as you can tell, there's lots of nice, pretty pictures as it is a comic book. A very big comic book, but a comic book nonetheless. So that's that one checked off. Shouldn't take me too long to read. The next challenge is to start and finish reading a series, and I know everyone's all like, oh my god, I don't know how I'm going to manage to start and or finish a series, but thankfully a duology, which includes 2 books, counts as a series. So what I've decided to read to start and finish a series is Inside Out by Maria V. Snyder and Outside In by Maria V. Snyder. So this is the 2 books in the Inside series, and I haven't really heard a lot about it, but it's been on my shelf for a while, and I really want to read it, and they're pretty short books, so I should be able to read them pretty quickly, which is good for a readathon, of course. So the next challenge is to read a book that has red on the cover, and for this challenge, I'm using the Best of Archie comics starring Betty and Veronica, which, as you can see, has red in the writing and this little blurby thing there and stuff. Red on the cover, so killing 2 birds with 1 stone with this one. So the next challenge is to read a book to movie adaptation and then watch the movie afterwards. So the one I've decided for this, I want to go for a little nostalgia feeling, and that is The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, which I read quite a few years back, but it's been on my shelf for a while, and I really, really love this series, and I kind of want to reread it to get into it again and experience what I did when I read it the first time. And then I'm going to watch the movie, which I've already watched many times, but that is The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, which I love this movie so much, so why not read the book and watch the movie? That is exciting. The next challenge is to read a book in a genre that you have read the least this year. And I noticed that the genre that I've read the least, I actually went through my Goodreads page and looked through all the books I've read this year, and it's historical fiction, which honestly surprised me, because I do love a good historical fiction. I honestly thought it was going to be contemporary, but apparently I went on a contemporary kick a little earlier this year, so historical fiction. I don't even think I've read 1 historical fiction novel. So, for that one, I have a choice. I haven't really decided what I want to do yet, but I can either read Grave Mercy by Robin Lefevre, which is a book I've been meaning to read for a while as well, but it is kind of a bigger book, and I don't know how I feel about reading a bigger book on the BookTubeAthon, but it is something I've been really interested in, so I may be reading it. I haven't decided yet, and if not this one, then I intend to read Bewitching Season, which is by Marissa Doyle, which is obviously much smaller, but if I read this one, I know I'm going to continue with the series and read the second one, Betraying Season, so it's probably going to end up being the same amount of pages, but either or, I haven't decided which I'm feeling. I guess I'll see what happens next week when I start reading. The next challenge is to read a book that someone else has chosen for you. So what I'm doing to make this sort of easier for me is I'm going to call up my friend and I'm going to ask her to pick a number, and then I'm going to count along my bookshelf and find a book that coincides with that number and see what happens. So, here you go, hey. Okay, I need you to pick a number for me. Just any number, it doesn't matter. I just need a number. Okay, 15? Alright, I'll see what I can come up with. I may need another number, but we'll see. Okay, bye! So now I'm going to count across my bookshelf and find number 15. So the book I managed to pull up is Another Foss, and this is by Daniel and Dina Nayeri. I probably butchered that name. But this is the first book in the Another series, which is a series. I have the first one and I have the second one, but I haven't read either of them, so this is actually really exciting for me because they've been on my shelf for a while and I really just want to read them. I don't know why I just haven't read them yet, but every time I go to read them I end up reading something else. I've heard a lot of mixed reviews on the Goodreads and such, but I'm definitely excited to see where it is. I believe it is a boarding school book, and who doesn't love a good boarding school book? Am I right? Am I right, people? And also, this book does have some red on the cover as well, so that also, you know, doubly getting that one, eh? Ooh. Look at me doing my challenges twice over. Pretty good if I don't say so myself. The last challenge is to read 7 books within the span of the week, which is basically like reading a book a day, which is kind of insane, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to manage it, but hopefully, cross your fingers, we'll see what happens. And if not 7 books, then it is to read a total of 300 pages a day, so perhaps maybe I can get that. We'll see. 7 books, 300 pages a day. I don't really know how it's going to go down. But I am going to try to do the daily video challenges and daily vlog updates, but we'll have to see how that goes. Again, that's a lot of reading and a lot of videoing and editing and a lot of everything. But, cross your fingers, hopefully, let's see how this goes down. So, good luck to all with BookTubeAthon 2014. Goodbye!